What's going on, guys, man? I'm just sitting in my car right now, alone right now in this parking lot, just reflecting, um, looking back this past year, man. Looking back the past 5, 10 years, 20 years of my life, my whole life, really, bro. As I think about this year coming to an end, I think about as much as I can look on the positive side of things and I can preach about the positive things that have happened to me in my life. And then I can talk about the good shit, you know what I'm saying? But I also have to balance out my life with the bad shit, the negative shit too. There's been a lot of negativity, a lot of negative things have happened in my life. I've had a lot of negative down days. I've had a lot of days, y'all, that y'all have not even known about with me, off this YouTube shit, man. I'm gonna be real with y'all, man, and keep it 100, because I'm not here to cap. I'm not here to make a video capping about my life. 2020 has also, as much as 2020 has been a defining year for me in my life, it's been a year of improvement and development. It's also been a year of some disappointments. It's also been a year of negativity, a lot of negative, bad energy. It's been a year of looking back at my past trauma and trying to work through it and trying to find ways to make sense of it. Because a lot of the days that y'all don't see with me, I'm not recording, making a video on YouTube and posting it. What y'all see right now is the real me. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want to fake anything when it comes to me. How I portray myself on YouTube, I don't want to fake shit. Because I'm not here to fake I'm not here to fake no character. This ain't no gimmick. This ain't no freaking, you know what I'm saying? This ain't no freaking clown show. None of that shit, bro. This ain't no spiritual clown show. I'm Mr. Solo Dolo. I am Mark. I'm not no spiritual this. I'm not no spiritual that. Nah, bro. I'm just Mr. Solo Dolo. I'm just Mark, the black sheep, whatever you want to call me at this point. But the days that I go through, the negative, bad times that I go through outside of this shit, y'all don't even see it. Right? Sometimes I don't want to make a video. I don't have the energy. I don't have the time, or I don't even have the motivation to come on camera and to upload for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just by me holding a camera to my face, making this channel for y'all the past year has been a big step for me in my life. It's been such a growing step for me. So far, I've been losing subscribers more than I've been gaining subscribers. I gained over 100 subscribers, but I still find myself losing subscribers along the way. Right? Listen. I understand in my life that I haven't always been everybody's favorite person. Growing up, I would say about middle school, where I would discover this aspect of my life where I was so isolated from all the other students, from all the other kids growing up and shit, because there is not a relatable, there is nothing that I could relate to other kids in my school. It's like I came from a different world versus the world that they came from. But at the end of the day, they all came from the hood, the projects. I didn't grow up in the projects as a kid. I didn't grow up in the hood. So going to school around a lot of, ghetto niggas, black kids and stuff. How it was in middle school, it was a lot different. It wasn't something I was so accustomed to, because I was so accustomed to being in a school, right? To being in a school with mixed kids, such as myself. If y'all haven't noticed, I'm multi-race. I'm multiracial, biracial. I'm a mixed breed. What can I say? I have a little bit of everything. And somehow that has turned me against other kids that were of a darker complexion than what I am, right? It has turned me against those kids. And because I did not grow up in their hood, I didn't grow up in their projects, I didn't grow up in their neighborhood. So they look at me like, who the fuck is this light-skinned, mixed, biracial nigga that never grew up in our hood? Who the fuck is he coming up in our school? Because the middle school that I went to, the high school that I went to, it was very a tight-knit group. Like, everybody knew each other. There was not anybody that did not know each other. So when they saw somebody like me roll up in their classroom and shit, they want to know answers. They wanted some answers. They kept asking questions. Like, who is you? You know what I'm saying? Like, where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Right? So by default, I felt out of place. I felt like I didn't belong already because of that camaraderie between all these other kids that I didn't have with those kids. They had with each other. So I felt isolated in that aspect, and it made it hard for me to make friends. It made it hard for me to make connections with anybody at school. The same thing repeated itself in high school. The same pattern. You know what I'm saying? To be real with y'all, man, and listen, like, whether y'all fuck with me or you don't, I really don't give a fuck, bro. I really don't give a fuck, because I have done so much growing in my life. I have isolated myself for the past 6 years of my life, trying to figure out who I am as a person, trying to figure out my purpose. I've had a lot of things I've been juggling around with in my life that I have just kind of set in the back burner of my life and not really fully commit to my life. I've been dealing with a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, a lot of addiction in my life, pornography addiction being one of them. You know, for y'all that don't know, I struggled with a lot of pornography in my early teenage years. And it was due to the fact, and this is hard for me to even talk about this, because y'all have to understand, man, I'm not used to expressing myself in a way where it's like I'm just making myself look vulnerable for y'all, right? And y'all don't even know me personally. So my biggest weakness is always expressing myself to other people, because I was never given a real opportunity to express myself to other people. It's like people were so fucking quick to write me off so early. Like, nobody ever wants to hear me out. Nobody ever wants to hear me speak my mind. It's always been like, it's like people always had an opinion of me, a very negative one, but the opinion was so blinded. You know what I'm saying? It didn't add up to who I really was as a person, like who I was trying to become. It's like you have not sat down with me for 1 second, or even not even 5 minutes, to even share a conversation, to even get to know me on a level where it's neutral, it's cordial. You know what I'm saying? On a cordial level. You haven't even spent 5 minutes to even know me on a cordial level. So how can you have a real opinion of me? How can you have a real opinion of anybody at this point if you have not talked with them at least for 5 minutes? And that's the problem with a lot of y'all, man. Y'all are so quick to judge people. Y'all are so quick to cast judgment onto people you don't even know. You are so quick to call people crazy. You are so quick to call people weird. You are so quick to call people weak-minded. You are so quick to call people this and that without ever looking into their fucking story. You ever heard of the saying, man? Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a book by its cover, because you never read that book. You never picked up to read that book. You may not like the cover. You may not like the content, right? You may not like how long the book is because the cover turns you off. But have you ever just read one page? Have you even read one goddamn page? One chapter, bro. One chapter, my guy. That's all you need to fucking read. It's one chapter. You haven't even done that. A lot of y'all are so quick to dismiss people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all have a lot of skeletons in your closets that y'all need to expose. That y'all need to, honestly, get them skeletons out of your closet and clean your motherfucking closet. Because this is what I had to do in 2020. For y'all that don't know, all the positives I can mention, there's a lot of negatives too. Trust me. There's a lot of skeletons in my closet that I had to release. I had to expose. I've been exposing myself this whole year. Not even saying I've been doing it on camera. I'm saying it in behind the scenes of my life. Behind this camera, off this YouTube shit. I've been exposing myself. Because before this new year begins, December 21st, right? A new universal energy is going to arrive. It's time to let go of your past, time to let go of your past trauma. It's not even time to let go of it. It's time to come to terms with your past trauma. This is what I had to do with my life. This past year, I had to take a lot of time with myself. I was at work. I wasn't working my regular job anymore. I've been with my job for like 5 years. I left in April. You know, I made a video about that too. And I had to reconnect. I had to reinvent myself. I had to dig a little deeper into my trauma and understand why have I felt this way about myself for so long. Why I was going through depression, why I was going through so much anxiety, why I was going through so much growing pains and shit. Why I've been going through my addiction and stuff like that. I'm still trying to battle through my addiction. You know, even though I stopped playing around with my fucking semen, my energy. You know what I'm saying? I still deal with my addiction. And day by day, I'm trying my best to recover and to get better. Because I know I'm not complete. I know I'll never be complete. I know damn well I'll never be perfect for anybody in my life. And I'm not gonna start today to become perfect for anybody. Because at the end of the day, bro, what you see with me is what you're gonna get. You're either gonna get the worst side of me or you're gonna get the best side of me. The best side of me may be my imperfect side, right? With my best side, I'm still going to be imperfect anyway. It's like, yo, take it or leave it. This is what it is. What you see with me this is what it is, bro. And this is what it's not going to be. This is what it's going to be. This is what it's not going to be. That goes along with friendships, women. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can take me for who I am or y'all can leave it. Because my value will not be diminished any other way. My value will not be dictated by your judgment. So it's like, I've been going through so much growing pains this past year. And I can honestly say this pandemic has forced me to get in touch with myself. It has forced me to uncover a lot of my trauma in ways where I'm walking the trails and I'm honestly talking with myself about my past. And as I'm talking, I find myself crying. I find myself having tears, like tears just rolling down my face, bro. My eyes and shit. You know what I'm saying? I had to do this in my car last night. There's things in my past that I need to let go of. And first, the hardest thing to do is actually is to face those traumas. To face those hardships. You know what I'm saying? There could have been there's been many opportunities for me to even like, there's been so many times in so many ways I could have fucked up my life and I could have went to jail. I could have really fucked up my life in so many fucking ways. There have been times where I was going to be taken away from my own mother. There was times where I was going to be separated from my mom and be taken into a foster care home with a bunch of strangers. Having DYFS come to your crib 2 different times when you're a little kid, when you're like 4 or 5 years old. Even come to your school. Ask you questions, interrogate you and stuff. Because they know that your mom is white. You're mixed. You know what I'm saying? You're half black, half white. That same old song and dance, right? As a way that people can look at you differently, and that from each race, from white or black, can treat you a lot differently based upon you not being fully of this, right? Or because your mom is white, so your mom must be abusing you physically because you're black still. Your complexion shows that you are black. Which I hate the word black because we're not actually black. But I'm saying based off a 3rd dimensional level, we are black. We still looked at as black. Okay? So I had people come into my life that were like questioning, is your mom beating you? Is your mom abusing? Like, this is personal stuff that I don't want to talk about often, but for the sake of me just opening up to y'all, man, and showing y'all a different side of me, kind of like giving y'all some insight of my experiences and my past, you know, my childhood and stuff. You know, this could probably help anybody else that's going through the same thing that I had to go through in my life. You know, I was almost on 2 separate occasions, I was almost taken away from my mom. One time when I was 4, and the other time when I was 9, 10 years old. DYFS showed up at my crib because they thought my mom was beating me and stuff like that. They made me strip down to my underwear. Very embarrassing because I was in a room with a bunch of grown adults. I'm the only little kid in that room, and I'm stripping down to my freaking underwear in front of grown freaking adults. Yeah, pretty fucking intimidating, pretty fucking weird. It was just a birthmark on my leg, my left leg. They thought my mom, was abusing me and stuff like that, so it's like, they looked at my birthmark and they thought that was like a bruise or some shit, like a cut. It's a birthmark. It's a fucking birthmark. So, yeah, they had no proof. You know what I'm saying? They had no proof that my mom was abusing me at all. So, the second time, they want to like, kind of force the situation even further, you know? It's like they're so hell-bent on taking me away from my mom. And I can't even tell you where I end up being. I'd probably end up in a worse situation had I been taken away from my own mom. And I'm not saying that my situation currently when I was a child or where I am in, well, okay, just when I'm a child. My situation as a child was not that perfect, was not all unicorns and rainbows, and it was not a cakewalk. Okay? So when I was telling y'all about going to a different school with a bunch of ghetto kids, right, that were from the hood, from the projects, from the streets and stuff, they grew up in that fucking lifestyle, they grew up in that environment. For me, I didn't grow up in that environment. So I didn't have that experience. But they treated me like I was like this perfect kid, like, yo, he has everything. He has a white mom. He has a white brother. He has a white. He grew up in a white family, so he must be living a perfect A1 life. Hell to the no, I was not. They could not be so wrong, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. My first house, I can't even really consider it a house. It was more like a square-shaped, small-ass, beat-down, run-down, rural, like, mobile home, right? My neighborhood was like 55 and older. Like a lot of old people were living there and shit. A lot of white older folks were living there and stuff. So I had to deal with their judgment of me. Not that they were like straight up judging me, but it's like, you know, they just saw a black kid in their neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this was not a neighborhood that was meant for little kids. You know what I'm saying? But them seeing a black kid like me, like being so young and stuff, you know, like that prompt them to, you know what I'm saying, keep staring and keep, you know, complaining to, to my mom or grandmother at the time. As I'm going for, to get to the mail and stuff, go to the mailbox, get the mail and stuff like that. I would catch them staring, being at their house and stuff, you know what I'm saying, be on the front porch. I would just have a bunch of them watching me and stuff, man. Like real stuff. Like as I'm walking and I'm walking back, I can look at them behind me and they're still staring at me and stuff. So I'm like, this would happen almost every day. Where it's like, it made me feel like I didn't belong there, bro. Like real shit. You know what I'm saying? I was just a kid that loved to be outside all the time. And like, I never liked being inside the house. So it's like, I'll be on the properties and shit, and I'll just be like fooling around and stuff like that. I'll be like barefooted, shirtless and stuff, running around the neighborhood and stuff, just, living my life, just having fun, being in the moment as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I barely had any play dates. I barely had anybody, like any friends at that point in time in my life. My father, my dad, my biological father was absent from my life. He was not a part of my life. So not having a father figure, on top of that being, multi-race, biracial, not being accepted into social circles and stuff in elementary school, it was actually a lot better because I was able to fit in with the group of kids I was going to school with. You know what I'm saying? It was more lit in elementary school. I had more of a fun time in elementary school, but as I went into middle school and stuff like that, it got harder for me to now adapt to that environment. You know what I'm saying? But I felt more alone as I hit middle school and as I went to high school. It made it very hard and challenging for me to find my circle, to find the people that was right for me. You know what I'm saying? But not having a father figure in your life, it definitely puts you back a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to ramble on here and stuff, but like, I know this video is like very over the place and stuff like that, but I just want to give y'all a piece, just a glimpse of my life, a glimpse of my past, a glimpse of my experience of my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make y'all understand. I'm not trying to cry the blues for y'all. I'm not trying to gain no attention from this stuff. Like, bro, I'm just here being real. Like, I'm not even capping. I'm not even trying to be like, I'm not trying to seek no attention from this video. This is me just opening myself up to y'all. Okay? As anybody else is going through it, I'm going through it too. If you grew up not having a father figure in your life, you struggle to find yourself as a young man growing up and not knowing how to do things, not knowing how to talk to girls, not knowing how to fight. You know what I'm saying? Not even know how to ride a freaking bike, or, not know how to defend yourself, you know what I'm saying, in combat, or learn stuff, or be told a lot of game and stuff, right? Being taught the game. I can relate to you. I understand what you've been through. I know exactly what you're going through, because these are the challenges that I had to endure in my life too. And I had to be forced. When not having a dad in my life, it forced me to be a man. It forced me to take care of myself better. It forced me to step up as a man. I was doing things that my older brother was not doing. My older brother is supposed to be my role model. He's supposed to be the one looking out for me. Every time he had his friends over, they're over here picking on me. over here bullying me and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not allowed to hang out with them and stuff because I'm not cool like that. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be my role model, my protector, my older brother. And you're going to let your friends just pick on me like that? You're just going to let your friends push me around? Because I'm the youngest, I'm a little ass kid, y'all teenagers and shit grown as hell. But I see how it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, my uncles and shit never were that supportive of me to begin with. You know, a very toxic family lifestyle and shit like that. Just not having a lot of love and support from my own family. I felt that my family was very divided in many, many ways. Like, all my relatives, all my cousins, aunts, like, I don't even see them no more and stuff like that. We're not in contact. We don't have no type of relationship or connection. Nothing, bro. Like, we just kind of cut them off. Like, for me, I just cut them off. They cut me off and stuff like that. It is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, my family situation has never been the best. It has never been the best. The one person in my life that I considered like my best friend in my family is actually gone. And that was my grandmother. My grandma was like my best friend. Like, we would always talk. We would always like talk about life, you know, talk about problems, you know, and stuff like that. We always, you know, she would always pray for me and stuff like that, you know, pray together. Yeah, like, we were just so freaking close. Like, we would spend so much time together and stuff like that. It's like, man, I miss her so much, you know, because it's like, that was like, I feel like that was the one person in my life that really cared about me, that actually loved me, that understood me in so many ways. And, you know, she's gone, you know. Her death obviously hit me a lot hard than I thought it would. Even though I was prepared for her to leave this world, she didn't have many days left on this earth. She had a lot of health problems, a lot of just a lot of conditions, man. A lot of bad conditions, heart problems, ammonia, diabetic, all that stuff. She couldn't walk no more. She was basically in a wheelchair for the last 8, 9, 10 years of her life. You know, in a wheelchair, using a walker. And once she was on hospice, she could no longer get out of bed. She could no longer take a shower. She could no longer wash. She couldn't really do anything but just lay there and stuff like that. Just, you know, and just wait till that day came. You know, for it was like 8 months she was in that bed. You know, we were just kind of all anticipating the day to when it would happen and stuff like that. And, you know, even like all the times where she kept going to the nursing home, back and forth to the hospital, to nursing homes and stuff like that, I just knew it was her time. I just knew at that point, this is around the time where I graduated high school and stuff. And this is the time where I lost my dad, when my dad passed away and stuff before graduation. Yeah, I just knew that her time was coming, and I knew she would not be living long. So I just had to prepare myself mentally for that death. But as it came and as it went by, I realized how much pain it caused. That the aftermath of dealing with that pain, it was very, very hard. Because not only was I going through it, not only was I dealing with her death, I was dealing with other people not giving me the support back. I was dealing with other people not being there for me when I needed somebody. I needed somebody to lift me up when I was down. And that was actually the beginning of my rock bottom. From that point on, I became so lost. I just started not to give a fuck about life. I didn't care about my life. I didn't care about anybody else and shit. Like, I was like, bro, I was just gone. Like, I was gone. Like, I didn't care about life. I didn't want to live my life. You know, I was working a job that I hated. I was miserable. I was eating unhealthy every day. I was watching porn, jerking off and stuff like that, finding love, finding validation through pornography and stuff like that. Just, you know what I'm saying, buy myself materialistic things to make myself feel good, and I just wanted to make myself feel even worse. than what I was. Like, I was trying to do everything to cover up my pain, to cover up my depression, cover up myself, you know, from feeling any type of pain. But the thing about that stuff is, like, when you try to cover up so much of your shit, it winds up just uncovering it itself. And then you have no choice but to face that shit. Because it came to a point where I was losing a lot of my friends from high school. The friends that I did make in high school, I lost them after high school. So dealing with that isolation, on top of that, dealing with my grandmother dying, my father dying, and just being at this all-time low point of my life, you know, basically where I want to, like I said, fuck it, bro. If I want to commit suicide, I'm going to commit it, bro. If I want to, thinking about this shit, I'm going to fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. I just want to put the knife to my fucking throat, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got to that point. I got to that fucking point because I got so tired of living this trash ass life. I thought my life was trash. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to live at that point anymore. So I said, fuck it. If I have the courage, I will. Obviously, I didn't have the courage, and I'm still here. I'm still living. I'm still talking to y'all through this camera. So evidently, I didn't have the courage to do that. So something was stopping me from killing myself. You know, and this is where my connection with God really increased. When I looked back at my life and I looked back at my past life, everything I had gone through leading up to this spiritual awakening that I had last year in July, it's forced me to create a connection with God, to get closer to the Most High. That means praying, that means reading the Bible, that means talking with God, following His law, statutes, and commandments, seeking out God. Let's be real. At one point in our life, we were not seeking the Most High. And in my darkest days, I was not seeking the Most High. I was not praying. I was not a man of God. I wasn't shit. To be frank with you, I was not shit. You know what I'm saying? If you probably looked at my life back then, you probably think, yeah, man, you should just kill yourself. Your life ain't shit. But something in me just refused to believe that shit, to actually just believe that my life wasn't anything, my life wasn't shit. I refused to have that self-dialogue. I refused to believe that about myself. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And somehow when it came to depression, kicking my ass every day, anxiety kicking my ass every day, my pornography addiction kicking my ass every day, toxic thoughts, my job kicking my, like, just a mixture of everything in my life just whooping my ass. And I realized drinking, smoking cigarettes, watching porn, buying materialistic things was not going to heal me. Trying to chase girls and stuff like that didn't want my ass because I was so desperate. Because I wasn't working on myself. I realized that shit did not matter. Those things were not going to make me happy anyway, so why not just change the way I think? Why not just change my mindset? Why not just man the fuck up and look into my life? Look into my problems, look into my trauma a little bit and figure out, do some psychology work. As you look into your life, bro, I swear to God, you will start to become such a psychologist of your own life. I never asked for no therapy. I never asked for no therapist in my life. You know, as I was going through my darkest days, I never asked nobody to be there for me. I never asked nobody to heal me or to pick me up when I was down. I didn't bother seeking no attention from anybody. I had to deal with this by myself. I had to fight through this by myself. And damn it, whatever it was going to take for me to get past this trauma, this pain, man, I'm going to fight through it. Every day when I look myself in the mirror, I see somebody that had to go through it all the time, every day. And I made it through my greatest pain. Not to say that I won't go through anything else, but I won't go through a lot more shit. The difference is my mind is so reinvented. I reinvented my mindset to where I can deal with shit and I can just, okay, I'm mad at first. I'm in the moment, pissed off, right? But then once I start to actually analyze what I'm feeling and what I just went through, I realize it really ain't shit. I realize this really is not serious. This is something I can just easily look past. This is something I can just look past and not even think about ever again. Right? And know what's important. Know the bigger picture in mind here. You know, whether it's helping other people, whether it's motivating other people, whether it's following my purpose, my goals in life. You know, whatever it is, man, being a social media influencer, it don't matter. A YouTuber. I'm going to tell y'all right now, being a YouTuber is hard as hell. A YouTuber with barely any subscribers whatsoever, that shit's hard as hell, man. Y'all know I've been trying to grow this channel since November. Some days I don't want to do YouTube. Some days I'd rather just fucking quit YouTube. Some days I'd rather just not even make any more videos ever again. Like there's been so many times where like, man, I'm not getting no support. I'm not getting no freaking type of love. I'm not getting no subscribers, bro. And I know damn well this video is not going to get a lot of views. I know for a fact, bro. Let's be real. This video that I'm about to post right now, man, it's not going to get a lot of views. It may just get like 2 views, 3 views, 4 views, whatever. I'm not expecting this shit to get 100 views or 1,000 views or 1,000,000 views, man. I'll be surprised if I get like 10 views. At this point, bro, I'll be surprised if I just get 10 fucking views off this damn video because I don't even care anymore, bro. If I want them just getting that, fine, cool. Fuck it. You know? At least I can say that I tried. If I want them to just like delete this channel because I'm like, at this point, I'm strongly thinking about just deleting my channel. Delete my channel for good and not even bother with this shit no more because, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I can put out all these motivational videos. I can try to put up all these self-development videos and try to help y'all and try to bring new information to y'all or try to like bring y'all a different perspective or whatever. Like, I know I don't compare to all these other YouTubers and shit that y'all follow and stuff like that. I know I don't compare to them because they have a real following. I don't. But I'm not here to compare myself to a spiritual soul. I'm not here to compare myself to all these like, you know, big ass YouTubers with, you know, a lot of subscribers like Von 2 Cut, you know, all these other YouTubers like, you know, like PewDiePie, you know what I'm saying? That's entertaining. That's a YouTube entertainer right there. PewDiePie and shit like that. Like, I'm not going to be on that level. You know what I'm saying? So, the least I can do is be myself. It's just be me. And to show y'all a more authentic side of me. You know, and tell my story. And use my story, use my pain to help out other people, to help out maybe one person who watches this video or stumbles upon it. They may take something from this long ass video. And listen, I know this video is long as hell, man, but honestly, man, I just had to vent. I just had to pick up this phone and I had to vent. Tell y'all what's on my mind, tell y'all what I've gone through, my experiences, all that stuff. Like, it has not been unicorns and rainbows. My life has not been a cakewalk. Okay? I had to take so many L's in my life. I had to take so many freaking L's to get to the W's. I've seen some W's this year. Now I'm still taking a little bit of L's. That's just life. That's just life, man. You gotta take your L's. You can't win every fucking time. You can't win all of them in one swell swoop. You cannot win all the time in life. Because you're not going to know what it's like to fight. If you win all the time, you don't know what it's like to actually win. If you're winning all the time, really you're losing. You're actually just losing. Because you don't know what it's actually like to fight your hardest and to win in the end. And to have that big W in the end. You can lose many times you want, but you know that W is going to come. You know when it's all said and done, you're going to win. Because you took in all these L's, you have kept your head high. You have picked yourself up when nobody... You kept yourself on your pivot, on track. And I refuse to quit on myself. You know what I'm saying? But I need more support on this channel, man. I need more subscribers. I need more support. I need more people to see my videos. I need more people to subscribe to this channel, man. You know what I'm saying? For me to keep going. For y'all to be on this journey with me. I need y'all to support me, man. Show love, whatever y'all got to do. Hit that, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button too. You know? We trying to win in 2021. We ain't trying to fall off. We trying to win. I'm trying to win too. I'm going to let y'all know. Mr. Solo Dolo is trying to win. He's trying to win big. I've done a lot of soul searching in my life. Growing pains, all that shit. The battle ain't done. The war ain't done. It's not done, bro. I can sit here and tell y'all more, but I've been on this bitch for 41 minutes and I'm about to click off, man. So without further ado, like, subscribe, and share this video, man. I just want to vent. I want to show y'all a different side of me that y'all not used to seeing. So if anybody sees this video, views it, you know, share it, man. You may take something from this video. You may relate to what I just told you and what I've been through in my life. You may just relate to something. So God bless y'all, man. Who's ever watching this, love yourself, man. Love your fucking self. I'm out, man. Peace.